Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. I am going to try and work on day 2 from 30 Days of Sketches series 14, which is a fabulous 2-page sketch from Shawn. She's Shawn Lahr. I always get that last name wrong, sorry. I love this. She is one of my favorite 2-page sketch designers. I go to her time and time again to give us a 2-pager. And this one is no exception on the fantastic creation. Now, I don't know which direction I want to go in. I decided to grab some of these 2 pattern paper pads that I had just to the side of me. I am very much trying to use up what's in front of me before I get into my drawers and look in there. So this is what I've got. And they're a little bit of a different feeling. I feel like if I go with this one, it'll probably be a little bit more travel or spring-like. And this one will, though it could be spring, it might be a little bit more of the muted tones. So I'm going to have a little play. I definitely want to highlight in this sketch. And the one thing I love about it, I'm going to pop that back up, is that base pattern paper down at the bottom. I want to highlight that with a really nice grounding pattern paper, so like a busier one. And the fanning of the papers, I'm going to try and get that in there as well. And then of course the idea of having my title in some sort of a half dome. In the layout shares that I shared on last, well, let's see, I'm not exactly sure when this is going out, but I would have probably shared it earlier this week or later last week. And I want to do that half dome shape with the idea of like a rainbow, or I don't know. I like the rainbow idea. There was lots that did like sunshine. So we're going to see what direction we go in and do that. But I definitely want to highlight on those 3 main focuses, which I found time and time again in all the gorgeous layouts that I saw. So that is my jumping off point. Let me kind of figure out which papers I want to use, and we will see what I come up with. Okay, let's talk about my options and what I came up with. So if I decide to go with the merry-go-round, there's 2 things. I love this gorgeous rainbow paper here, and I thought I could trim it twice because it's going to be a 2-pager, and then rotate it so the blue, so it goes in with the blue and then goes out. Or vice versa, you cut it and then you rotate it so the yellow goes out to the blue. And then working with some other papers around that. That was my first kind of thought that I saw. And then I thought I could start with a base of this and then build in these other papers, scraps that I have. However, I don't know what's enough to make a full 2-page spread with that. So I might hold on to this and see if we can use it in an upcoming sketch. And the same thing, like I do like this idea, so I'm not necessarily fully saying no to this, but I then have to go in and pick some other papers. But I do kind of like the idea of this rainbow. I think it might be a little bit brighter pop and a little bit more playful, which I could then put in that sun or rainbow up at the top corner for my title. Then for the Live and Let Grow, this will probably end up being a travel layout of some kind. And I have all the papers available to me, but I think my plan was to use one of these busier floral papers. I've got this blue one, I've got a green one, but let that be my bottom anchoring paper and then build off of that. And then I have a ton of other paper to play off of. So chances are, you know, I'm probably going to go this route, but I'm still a little, at the moment, I'm a little bit almost like 50-50 up in the air, because I think playing with this idea might turn into something really cool. So I don't know. I don't have pictures picked out, which I think might be part of my problem, is I don't know which way I want to go. And we'll see. I might start with this. You know what? I'm going to start with this idea first. We'll see where it takes me. And if I need to change it up and flip it over, we can do that. So let's go with this direction. Okay. So my first problem with my plan here, I'm already happy with this. This is really, I like the grounding it's bringing. And then I will put on the pattern papers and build off of it. But the collection I have, it only has 1 of each pattern paper. So I have nothing to have my large matting base. And so I'm already thrown off. And when just jumping back into scrapbooking, that really is a big hindrance to me. So I had to step away, and I had some coffee, and I just was like, okay, what can I do? I opened one of my drawers, and the very first thing that was there is a bag of the collection Storyteller by Cocoa Vanilla. And I think that it is close enough to these colors. I mean, it's definitely not exact. It's definitely not. And like this pink colors is off, but I think it's enough. And the fact that you're going to have photos and everything on them, that I think it might work to be my base, like so. And then these will be, of course, on top. I think it's pleasing to the eye. I think it's muted enough, subtle enough that that should work okay. And then I'll have the fanning of it, a different pop from the collection to bring that back in. I think it's okay. So, thankfully problem solved. Because again, just stepping back into something, the moment just one little hurdle happens, it can be really hard. And I am okay sacrificing this other side, even though it's gorgeous. I will get to trim a chunk of it off anyway, so I can use it in layering for a layout down the road with that collection. But yes. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to grab all the papers and get everything kind of sorted out so that we can then build this layout together and be done. All right, so I have the base down. Hopefully that has popped up so you can see that being put together. And I ended up pulling back into this lovely Cocoa Vanilla Studio. This is the Storyteller collection. And I pulled into that, and you're going to see that with my photos and stuff coming into play too. So really the only thing that is from that original Maggie Holmes is this blue and this striped. I did find some photos, and I'm excited to work with them. They are of our cat and my oldest son, Jackson, who was the one that was so excited that we were getting the cat. And so I figured we can work with these and highlight him. Now my photos and the way I'm going to stack this up is not going to be necessarily in line with what we see within Shawn's sketch, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and work with that. I pulled in just these two other pattern papers. So we've got this kind of red rust color that it's not exactly the same color, but it does work. And then this blue that again is not really the same color, but I think it should be okay. So we're going to use these two to highlight this one photo of my son with the cat being all excited because he's with the cat. So we're going to do that there. And then I thought we could use this other side here. And I am going to tuck it in here some way. We're going to have this photo up here. And then I thought, because I have these smaller ones, that we can lean them kind of like this. We'll do a play off of the, let's see, I'll get it more in line when it's time, but we'll get a play off of that. And then again with the blue, so that it's being carried across both sides, I have this one photo to highlight with the pattern paper, so it's got a nice base to it. Now the reason why I chose that, you'll see in a second, because I then went into the embellishments and stuff in this Cocoa Vanilla collection and found a couple things. So I need something over here in the sketch. Of course, I think there's a photo and then the two 2x2s. I'm not necessarily going to do that, but I thought we could go ahead and add that. Now the blue, that's a lot of blue, so I can go that direction if I want to, but I also have this love this, which brings in the idea of the bottom, so I figured that might work as well. So one or the other, we'll see my final decision. And then the frames. So this is the frame I'm going to use for this. It just happened to work a little bit better with this particular photo. I liked how it kind of got him there. So we're going to highlight that photo and then use this as our title, jumping off title, figuring out the dome. I haven't done that part yet. And then I've got a few other little embellishments here. So I have this all smiles, which he is, and I have a little bit of I added this little scallop border here, and it's a little messed up there. So I thought if I could put that there, it'll fix that. I've also fixed the one on this side by making this photo staying the size that it is. This story is so good. I thought I could just put that up there. And then I've got cameras, so one for each side. I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't know. Definitely one's gonna go there. I have this this photo. I adore this photo, and I want that to be on here in some way. So once I get the sizing kind of figured out, that should be up there. Which then I'm like, oh, they both say love this, but we'll see. I still need to play around with how we're gonna make this work, but I want to get a floral or some greenery on each side. So I just grabbed a piece of greenery for this side and a piece of floral for that side, thinking that I'm going to use this camera that already has floral, so you've got a visual triangle going on. And that's where I'm at. So now I just need to make those final decisions, figure out how I'm going to do my title. I did kind of have a couple options. I can keep in with this collection and do this together. I could even do this happy together if I want to. I also have this Simple Stories one that says happy home, and I thought, I think there's one that says forever. So I thought maybe we could do forever home, but it is only kind of focusing in on my oldest with the cat versus all of us. And so I think I'm going to do this happy together instead. And then it keeps within the collection. So I'm going to make my final decisions and I'll be back to wrap it up. All right, layout complete. I love how it turned out. Hopefully the original sketch from Shawn has popped up, so you have a look at it, see what it's about again. Remember, my main focus was to do the anchoring pattern paper down at the bottom and the kind of fanned papers over to the sides, and then this lovely title with some sort of a sun or a burst or a rainbow or something up at the top. So those were my three main elements I wanted to take away from the sketch. I definitely think I went ahead and got that accomplished. So what did I end up doing with that? I took some sequins. These ones happen to be from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and I just went ahead and made a little shaker and then did some stitching in some kind of the same color as the little dots in the pattern paper. That's how I was able to make that work, and I just titled it again happy together. I did come in with these cute little wood veneer as well. They are from Shadney's Etsy shop, and I love the little cats, and so just to kind of finish, that was my finishing touch to it all. Otherwise, there's not a ton of embellishment. I got a few floral pieces, the camera, and then I guess the frames really, and this little piece here. I did come in with another bit of rainbow, so I had rainbow in 3 areas, again just giving me that visual triangle that I love to do so much. And this is packaging from the Cocoa Vanilla Studio, the black stickers, puffy stickers that came from. This is the packaging that was from it, and so I just went ahead and used that. Otherwise, this is all done. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. And if you want to see what everyone else has done with this layout, if you haven't checked that out, that video was posted a couple days ago. So I'll have the link for that in the description box if you want to check that out as well. See you all again soon. Bye, everyone.